Hey everybody, this is Brett, and welcome to a live stream that's just kind of an on the whim one, once in a while I'm like, oh, I just better talk to people and tell them what I'm thinking about what's going on or something, some subject. But today I tuned into Trump's speech at in Switzerland, whatever the name of that town is. Levos or something, Evos, and I was just like, I tripped out for about a minute, and then I just started laughing, and I just kept laughing and laughing and laughing because it's just like so ridiculous. It's so comical. It's so insane. It's just like he's like very sick. He's really a sick-minded person. He's the perfect example of how to not be nice. And I think that there is a degree of bluntness that needs to be had sometimes with people, and you've seen it with me. Sometimes I can be kind of blunt. I can think of a few videos where I was just like pissed off, and you could say that he either just has a lot of balls or he's just a total asshole, or that he's insane, or a combination of all these things. Oh, and there's one other thing. Really effing stupid. Okay? And you know that I study astrology. There are some things right now in astrology with the outer planets that really are creating a lot of change. And you should know that a lot of the things that he's doing, saying, etc., are really amazingly good at getting a lot of people and governments everywhere, good and bad, to think about what's right and what's wrong. Okay? And this is really important. It's really important for everyone to realize how not to be for the most part. How not to be for the most part. Okay? And one of those words is arrogancy. You know, everyone can be arrogant, including me. And when I see him and I hear the things that he says, it makes me and many, many people think twice about being arrogant. Okay? He's perfect. He's perfect for this world. Okay? And you have to think about all of this deeper. And you can go deeper than that and realize that this life that you've been given here is just it's just a brief period of time in which we're being tested. And it knows everything that we're thinking, everything. It knows everything that we're feeling. Okay? And it knows the gifts that it gave to you and whether you're using them or not. And just like a boss is watching you to see how good you're doing at your job, you'll either be promoted or you'll be demoted. And for me, one of my most important gifts is the gift of communication. And so that's why it's important for me to come on here and let you know what I'm thinking, because I believe that what I'm thinking and feeling are very spot on. You don't have to accept them, but I appreciate you listening. And yeah, I'm basically just saying that most of what he's creating, it's largely hot air. It's just a bunch of blah-de-da, okay? But there is some significant value in it. And it's mostly negative value. How not to be, right? And it's hopefully setting a lot of people that are extreme in one way or another, all kinds of extremes, out of line. A lot of people that are out of line in many of the regards that he's out of line. And he's so extremely out of line that hopefully a lot of those people will see how they too are this way. And so he's an absolute blessing. You want to know why? The reason why he hasn't been ousted yet? Well, that's the reason, because God wants all of us to learn these lessons from him, these opposite lessons, how not to be. Okay, so let it fly, because it's all good, because this world has so many spirits, bad apple spirits living in bodies that were sent here, toxic spirits put in toxic bodies that need to learn a lot of things from living in these bodies. This world was set up. It was set up to be that if you don't adhere to the Bible or whatever book, okay, if you don't adhere to the wisdoms of those that came before us, that learned things the hard way, all these people that have lived in this world for thousands of years, that have had to learn things the hard way. They were on their last day of life, right? And they're thinking to them, they're laying in their beds and they're all sick, and they're thinking about all the things that they did. Oh my God. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. I've been there. Oh, maybe I should do that better. Maybe I shouldn't have done those things to those people. Oh. and I think that Donald will also get to this point, of where he realizes that he shouldn't have done all these things. So anyways, it's difficult that he has to, the only way he learns things is if the stock market crashes or something to that effect, or if he loses his supporters, if he loses some of his supporters. And eventually, people are going to see through all of this. As long as there's free speech, believe me, right now, Every time he speaks, and there's a whole lot of half-truths and a whole lot of complete lies. There are a lot of people fact-checking his BS. And they're all going to come out and tell everyone. They're going to show the facts. You can look them up yourself. All you got to do is go on AI and ask it if this or that he said is true. And it'll tell you probably not, or partially, only partially true, etc. So anyways, I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I forgot to kind of the bottom line is don't stress over this, all of this stuff. It's good to watch it. Don't let anybody tell you that it's not good, at least if you have a degree of common sense, that it's not good to watch, at least somewhat watch Donald Trump. Yeah, watch him for a little while. It's good for you to realize all these different things. and it's comedic. It's funny to watch him. It's good for your belly laugh. So I want to thank you so much for joining me. Be well.